Hello everyone. So today I'm here with one of the games of Leonid Stein. So who is playing white pieces in this position, and he's considered as a master of risk taking. So it means that recently means like when I was working on one of the chapters from Mark Doretsky, so who has written how to play the positions with opposite color bishop middle game, opposite color bishop middle game positions. So there, I have seen one of the games of Leonid Stein. So I was really impressed with his game. So that's why recently I was browsing through my database and I was just checking that. Okay, let me just find one of the games of Leonid Stein. So if I can just um, put that particular game in my channel, so it will be useful for my viewers. So that's why I just came up with one of the games which he played in 1959. So against Vosnos Vyacheslav. So let's proceed with the game. So he started with e4, c5, Sicilian defense, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, and here knight c6. And we have classical Sicilian here. So and Steen went with bishop g5. So this is the most played move in the position. And after e6, he played queen d2. So bishop e7 and see this is a common continuation. And in this position, black did knight into d4, queen into d4, and castling. In this position, white continued with pawn f4. So these are all the normal continuations in the opening. Queen a5 and bishop c4, rook d8, and here comes rook hf1. So this move has a strong idea in Steele's mind. So that we will see now. Black played bishop d7, preparing to just because white castled on the queen side, black castled on the king side. So in there is the position with opposite color, sorry, not opposite color, sorry, opposite side castling. So each player will try to open opponent's king's position by pushing the pawns in front of opponent's king. Because if your king is on the king side, you can push the pawns on queen side without any fear, because your king's position is not going to open because you are pushing the pawns. But your king's position will be open because your opponent will be pushing the pawns in front of your own king. So something like that. Here, black is pushing the pawns in front of white king, and white is trying to push the pawns or maybe bring the pieces in to attack black king. In this position, bishop d7 is played with the intention to play b5. So here, Stein continued with pawn f5. After pawn f5, so it is if black plays pawn e5, then white can use a strategically important square d5 after returning the queen, and maybe you'll capture on f6 and try to occupy the d5 square, which is weak. So something like that. That's why black didn't do anything with respect to the pawn on e6. So he just continued with pawn b5. So this is the error basically. After this, now Stein was not worried about the c4 bishop and he just continued with pawn takes e6. Good move. And here, black played pawn takes c4. If black plays bishop into e6 means so maybe knight into d5 can come up. So, so black played pawn takes c4. And here, white, instead of just recovering the piece back with the pawn into d7, where okay, black can continue in some way because black is already opened the file in front of white king. So the b5. Got it? So here white continued with threatening moves, and white is having very strong plan in this position. So please focus and come up with the. You can just think of your own move in this position and pause the video, and you can just continue running the video after you get the move. So as I already requested, everyone please work on these videos with the chessboard and arrange positions on the chessboard and make the moves. So that's the way you can just learn the things. Okay, so now we'll continue with the actually played move, that is rook f5, threatening the queen, and so trying to bring a piece in action. It was already active on f1, but on f5 it is even more active. Queen b4, and here pawn takes. Okay, pawn takes f7 is also fine. He played bishop into f6. Pawn takes f7 was also fine in this position. Okay, bishop into f6, bishop into f6, then pawn takes f7 came up. Here, black played king f8. Of course, king h8 is not so great move because of rook into f6. Black cannot capture an f6 because of mate. So that's why. And if king takes f7 is also leads to kind of you know leads to mate, I guess, because after rook into f6, pawn into f6, knight d5, and will move on, followed by queen into f6, rook f8. So many things will come. So that's why black just played king f8. After king f8, white anyway continued with rook takes f6, and black didn't capture g into f6 because if g into f6 again knight d5, so queen b7, then maybe capture on f6 will follow, followed by same thing. So we check on h8, then rook f1, all those things. So that's why after that black didn't capture the rook from the g pawn. Instead, black played bishop g4, attacking the rook on d1. So white was not worried about that, and white just continued with rook into d6. Because if black captures on d1, you can just play rook into d8, rook into d8, queen into d8, king into f7, and that positionally better position for white because white is already having two extra pawns in that position. Correct? So probably and black's some a7 and a7 pawn is weak, and c4 is also weak because presently it is protected by queen, but at some point probably white can just white need not have to even recover any pawns for that. It's just positionally winning game. So that's why black declined the exchange of the pieces, and white continued with rook f1. See, because white need not have to worry about b2 because after queen into b2, just king d2. And here there is a threat of maybe, yeah, not necessarily okay, yeah, queen c5 and queen b7, and here white played queen c5. Now rook d8 checkmate is threatened because double check followed by the king can capture on f7. Okay, so that's fine. And here black played queen e7, so to just get rid of that threat of rook d8 checkmate. And here white continued the attack, that is nd5. After knight d5, queen g5 check, and here rook f4, and can't stop the rook d8 knight. Maybe he can play something like c3 check, and white will just play appropriate move with respect to that. So this is the game, so which I found it was really useful even to study. So if someone is playing white, I mean to say, if someone is playing e4 from white side, and if our opponent replays with classical Sicilian, you can use this variation. If you are not used this earlier, or maybe you can just try to use these ideas. If you are not playing, even if you are not playing this variation, also no problem. You can use these ideas in your own games. So thank you so much for watching the video. So see you next game. Okay, bye. Thank you.